Good morning. How are you diddling? Excellent. Me too. Thank you very much for asking. Welcome to another episode of Dazed and Confused. Oh, what day is it? Thursday. That's how confused I am at the moment. This week has kind of flown by, but not really. It feels like it should really be Friday or potentially even the weekend by now, but it's not. But anyway, how are you getting on? Excellent. For those of you who don't know who I am, I'm Simon Scholes, founder and creative director of this bad boy right here. We're an award-winning visual marketing agency. Welcome to my bedroom, where I am broadcasting from live every single day in the most cramped space you can ever imagine. And we're having some fun answering your social media and video questions, trying to help you get onto that content creation journey so that you can start putting some stuff out there for your audience to kind of get some value from, consume and enjoy consuming as well. So thank you very much to any of you who've joined us this morning, whether it's on Instagram Live right now, or if you're on Twitch or Periscope, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, wherever you're watching, hello to you. Don't forget as well, if you're on Facebook right now and you're watching and you haven't already, give StreamYard the permissions to show your name, and then your name will come up on the comments that you leave on the content, and I'll be able to talk about you and say hello to you and all that kind of stuff. But thank you very much to all of you for joining us this morning. Today we're going to be talking about social media SEO, or can, more to the point, social media improve my SEO? And so we're going to talk about that this morning. Why am I doing these lives? Because a few years ago, even though I run this great agency that's creating some brilliant content, it became quite obvious to me that not every brand, not every business had a budget necessarily right now to spend on marketing, or their marketing budget was a lot smaller than it was potentially really needed. So I wanted to try and help people get onto that content creation journey, start making stuff they could do themselves for free, so that when they get to the stage where they need that more polished piece of content, then they have some income coming from the people they've built a brand with, so then they can come to an agency like us or somebody else and get that content made. And that's why I have the How to 9 Times Your Social Media process, where I try and help you for free understand what content it is that you could be making on a regular basis. So that's why we're doing these lives, to try and help as many of you as we possibly can. Got some questions today that have come in. Like I said, we're going to talk about SEO. Hello to Christine, who's tuned in at the moment on Instagram Live, and also the Modern Man Coach as well, who I think is Fidel, isn't it? So thank you very much for joining us, Fidel. That's very good of you this morning. So we're going to talk about social media and whether it actually improves your SEO today, on today's episode of Dazed and Confused. A slight change to the name after a conversation I had with somebody this morning. So we'll see how that goes. Hello to Erp as well, who's tuned in on Twitter. So thank you very much for joining us. So social media and SEO, do they work hand in hand? No, they don't. Google has pretty much clarified point blank that social media doesn't help your SEO, your search engine optimization rankings on Google. Don't know about any of the other channels, but let's face it, they're not really all that important. Google's the one everybody uses. And the answer is no. But in a roundabout way, yes. So it's a bit of a double-edged sword. So literally, no. Social media will not help your SEO. It might help your website look like it's been updated on a regular basis if you've got maybe your Twitter feed on there, or you're posting videos on there that are embedded from, say, doing a live or what have you, that kind of thing. Kind of, yes, absolutely. Your Instagram feed could be on there. So yes, it could be helping on the updating side of your website, making your website look like it's in constant use and constantly being updated. However, general SEO, no, it doesn't help. But in a roundabout way, it can do, because what you can do with your content is obviously direct people to your website. So whether you're a business who sells cards, or whether you're a business who helps other businesses, you can be creating content on a regular basis that will help draw people back to your website to see more of what it is that you actually do. So for example, I tell you every morning we're an award-winning visual marketing agency. You might then come and take a look at our website and see our video on there, our show reel, and then go, that's pretty cool. What else is on the website? And start searching around the website to see what else we've done, see who we've worked with, maybe see some of the case studies, see some of the blogs that have been written, get some value from those, then maybe get in touch with us and ask us to make a video for you. And you've got to try and use your social media in the same way without trying to sell all the time. It's all about giving that value. What value are you giving in your content? What value are you giving in the groups that you've created? All that kind of stuff. And that will hopefully then draw people back to what it is that you do, your main hub, wherever that might be. Now, hopefully it is a website, and that way, then it will draw people back to a website, which will in turn help increase your SEO. Because what it'll do is make Google realize that people are finding your content through social media. So the social media itself isn't increasing your SEO, but people are finding your content through social media, and they're doing it in numbers from different sites. So it's almost like being backlinked into your content, and then people are coming to your website and staying on your website as well, because they've already got value from you in one place. So why would they not come to your website and dwell there for a little while? They're not necessarily going to see that link, get value from it, click on it, and bounce straight back off again, are they? You're hoping what they're going to do, and this is kind of like the human mentality, is I like that. I'm going to click that link. It's going to take me to their website, and I'm going to have a look around and see what else they do. And hopefully then you don't get that bounce rate of somebody popping onto your website and coming straight back off again, or popping onto your website, consuming the content, and then dropping straight back off again. So can social media improve your SEO? No, but in a roundabout way, yes. It really is a completely double-edged sword. It's a really weird situation. But what you're trying to do is effectively create content that will draw people back to your main hub. So when you're writing a blog, obviously you're going to put it on your website. But if you're going to put that blog anywhere else, which you should be doing, don't forget to draw people back to your website. So whether you put out a shorter version of the blog and say, if you want to read the full thing, come back to my website. Links in the comments. Don't put it into the main content. The Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn and all those sites don't like you sending people to other websites, but they don't mind if it's done in the comments. It's a weird situation, I know. Don't put it in the main meat of the content, put it in the comments. So you put your link there, and then people will click on it and come and have a look. But just always make sure that you're drawing people back. On Instagram, for example, you can't put a link into your description, but you can say, if you want to read the full blog, click the link in my profile. That way, they're also coming to your profile, so you get another profile visit on Instagram, and they'll click the link and come and have a look at your content on your website. So you're kind of helping yourself twice there. When you put it out onto Medium, make sure that on Medium, you're drawing people back to your website. When you put it out as an article on LinkedIn or as a post on LinkedIn, make sure you're drawing people back to your website. Social media is a great place to be, and it's a great place to be social. But we want that opportunity to also potentially sell to people. And as much as we don't want to do that in social media, doing it on your website, absolutely fine. So if you can get people to click those links and come to your website, then you've got a really great chance of actually selling to them. It's why sites like Pinterest work so well for people when they put their pricing or an idea of what they're going to charge onto the images that they put onto Pinterest, because people then have a good focused view of, well, I want a new kitchen, and that one that they're posting there, which is the one I really like, was £18,500. We've got a budget of 20k. Let's go and talk to them. They click on the link there, it takes them through to your website, and they get in touch and have a chat. Or they're like a pair of trainers, and so on and so forth. So just use social media as a way of drawing people back to your website rather than worrying about it increasing your SEO, because it doesn't. It doesn't increase your SEO, but the way you use it, the way you draw people back to your website can help your SEO if you're doing it well on social media. Hopefully that's kind of explained it a little bit. It's just a short, succinct little subject matter today. I didn't want to go too deep into anything, but I think it's quite an interesting one because a lot of people do think social media will increase your SEO, and it really doesn't. Hello to AJ who's joined us, and also Alan Leeper as well. Hello, Alan. Hope you're feeling better now. Yeah, so there you go. Hopefully that's answered the question of, can social media improve my SEO? Right, we're gonna do some questions, I think. Good morning to Ed, who's just joined us. It feels like it was just 16 hours ago since you were last live. It's probably because it was. Is that how long ago it was? God, okay, blimey, I didn't even realise. Anyway, right, it's a good job I've got lots of things to talk about. It's a good job I've got a big cup. Right. Anyway, if you've got any questions at all, as always, they don't have to be about social media or SEO. Stick them into the comments either on Instagram Live, which is on my phone right here, which is why I keep checking it out, or you can put it onto any of the other streams where I'm live as well, which is Twitch, Periscope, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube as well. So put your comments and your questions into those platforms, and I'll answer them. And then, of course, if you want to shoot off, don't worry, your question will be edited into a short form video, repurposing the content that I'm making and put out onto social media anyway. So you'll get to get your answer at some point or another. Anyway, questions. Let's have a look what we've already had come through. I had a question that they want to be anonymous, so we're going to do that. I'm putting out as much content as I can, but still my personal brand doesn't seem to be gaining traction. How can I balance between being patient and knowing the messages I have to share are super important and wanting more people to hear them? Okay, wanting more people to hear them and knowing they're super important are two very similar but very different things. Are they really super important for people to hear? Are your messages super important for the people that you're talking to hear? And this takes us right back to the very beginning of putting together any form of marketing or even putting together a business. Who is your avatar? I've said this over and over again, and I will keep saying it. If you don't know who you are aiming your brand at, who you're aiming your business at, then you cannot create content that is aimed at them because you don't know who they are and how they speak and where they hang out. I'm a huge believer, absolutely, put content everywhere, remove that friction. But if you are not putting a majority of your effort into the one place where they are hanging out and talking to them in the language that they would use, then you're on a hiding to nothing. So you need to take back everything to the point of avatar and understand exactly who you're talking to. What kind of person are they? Are they male, female, hobbies, where they hang out, where they like to go on holidays, whether they've got kids, whether they're married, whether they're gay, whether they're not gay, whatever. You need to understand them perfectly so you can go, okay, I know they're going to be on Pinterest because that's where most of those people hang out. Fine, then start going to town on your Pinterest content, putting videos out on Pinterest, putting pictures out on Pinterest. They've just started. I've been given the permission to use this. It's really cool. Stories, like multiple image stories on Pinterest. Put more content out on Pinterest and then start putting content everywhere else. But that way, you know your audience is definitely there and you know how they think, how they speak. And so you can create content that's specifically for them on that channel. So you need to really take it back again, work out who your avatar is, work out who that ideal client is. That's what an avatar is. And then start worrying about the rest of it. Also, don't worry so much about not gaining traction, even if you're creating lots of content. You just got to really get the content right. I think if you could put out the same amount of content, but understand who it is you're talking to and putting it in the right place, I think you'll find you'll fly a little bit better. Hopefully that answers your question. Let's have a look, see if anybody's asking anything. AJ on Instagram, if you're starting a company, what would your social media lineup be? What would you choose and why? Okay. It really depends on the business and again on who your avatar is. If you are a B2B, there's a very high possibility that your number one place to put most of your content would be LinkedIn. But what you would do, me personally, I don't think business pages are all that great on LinkedIn. I've never seen one that performs particularly well. So the better way is to actually create your own page, put content out on that and potentially share it through the business page, or when it's business related, say it's a client or something like that that you've been working with, put it on the business page and share it on your own personal page. But you're more likely to get an audience for your own personal page on LinkedIn. That's probably the number one place I would go to if you were B2B. If you're B2C, it could be anywhere. Your audience could be Facebook, it could be Instagram, it could be Pinterest, like I say, it could even be TikTok. I don't know, because obviously I don't know who the avatar is. So that's where then you start to go, right, okay, I'm starting to get the picture of this. I'm starting to understand a little bit better. I need to know who it is I'm trying to sell to, who my business is for. It's all well and good. A lot of people will go, yeah, put content out, just get doing it, just do it. That is if you are going to be your own brand. But if you are starting a business, you've got to do it right. You've got to do it right. You can't just chuck content out. It's nice to do so, and feel free to get started to just put content out. But always have in the back of your mind, you're going to narrow it down. You're going to get that niche together so that you understand exactly who it is you're talking to, so that you can then build on that. That's why I aim at coaches, mindset, lifestyle coaches, because I know they understand that aspect. They can talk to their clients about it, then they can talk to them about what it is that we do as a business, helping people repurpose content, helping people make more creative content for when they've got a product to sell, all that kind of stuff. But I talk to mindset coaches specifically and life coaches because they understand that, and business coaches. Sorry, giving you a kick there. So I think that's probably the answer for you. I understand my avatar. You need to understand yours before you get anywhere else. Okay, I've got a thumbs up from AJ, so fingers crossed. That means he's got the answer that he was looking for. If you've got any other questions, by the way, stick them into the comments. We'll do our best to answer them before we finish off today. Chris has got a comment that says, "I've been going live. What should I do now?" What you should do now, Chris, is pick up the phone and call Perception Studio. I'm joking, but you could if you wanted to. Ring Perception Studios and we can help you out. But basically, if you don't have the skill set, find someone either local to you or someone like us who can help you repurpose that content. A live video is fantastic. And if you're creating it without creating anything else, even better, because there's so much you can get out of it. So you could have it transcribed and turn that into a blog with a little bit of bastardization. You could edit small bite-sized chunks out of it and turn those into short-form content. Keep them under 60 seconds, and even better, you could take the audio off it and turn it into a podcast. You could take those quotes that you've used in the short-form video content pieces, turn them into memes. Obviously, all of this stuff takes a bit of a skill set. And so if you don't have that skill set or you're not bothered about learning it, find somebody who's willing to help you out and do it for you. But that's what I would do. If I was going live and I had that to play with, I'd download it and get cracking, putting it out lots of different places. Even uploading just the full video and putting it out to different places would be a great start, and then editing it up as well. And taking that audio off. Taking the audio off is probably one of the most simple things you could do. And then you've got that podcast. It doesn't have to have a fancy intro or outro. It just needs the audio putting out for people to consume and then telling people that it actually exists. Again, this comes down to not just expecting people to find your website because you've put a video on there. This is why I started doing what I do. My dad passed away, became quite obvious he'd left a huge legacy behind him about training people and helping people that I didn't have any idea of, but I wanted to realize my potential of actually helping people and training people and helping them understand that just because you want a video on your website doesn't necessarily mean it's the right thing to have a video on your website. But because you've got a video on your website, that also doesn't mean that you're going to get loads of audience coming to your website just because you've put a video there, because they don't know it exists. But anyway, that's another story. We won't get caught up into that. Hello to Ryan, who has just joined us. Thank you very much for joining us on the live. On to our final question at the moment that's coming before the show. If you have any questions, whatever channel you're watching on, be it Twitch, Periscope, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram Live, drop them into the comments and we will go through them today. Or if you're not keen on actually putting your hand up in the classroom, don't worry, I've got you covered. All you've got to do is drop me an email. My email address is scrolling across the bottom of the screen right now if you're watching on the live or watching on the replay. If you're listening to the podcast, don't worry, my email address is in the description box because you don't have a screen to look at. So go and give it a click and drop me an email with your question on, and I'll do my best to answer it either on email or we can stick it into the live session tomorrow. Anyway, final question that I've got so far, unless anybody else has got any other questions to ask. Danielle is asking, I run a beauty salon and I want to take my personal brand to the next level. What do you suggest? So much value you could give. I was working with a really great beauty salon owner a few years ago, and we created so much great content for her, and she did fantastically well with it. She's gone on to do more education stuff and talks and that kind of thing. So there's huge potential there for you, Danielle. What you've got to do is look at what you do as an industry and give value within that knowledge aspect. So is it even a case of actually poo-pooing on some of these beauty experts that are on YouTube who aren't beauty experts, and actually some of the advice they give might be dangerous or not ideal for young girls to be following. All that kind of stuff is quite important. Obviously, we live in an age where actually looking after the planet is more important, especially at the moment. We've all started to realize that the planet is starting to heal itself during this lockdown period. So maybe it's all about helping people understand what kind of sun creams they could use that are actually safe for the body and safe for the environment. And just, putting out there's so much value you could give. How to give a massage without causing somebody an injury, how to do certain things for Valentine's Day or Mother's Day or Father's Day, different things that you could do, how to do your own mani-pedis, how to cut somebody's hair if you have somebody within your salon who does that kind of thing, there's all sorts. How to do a spray tan, all those kind of things. There's lots of value and advice you could give and help you could give in what it is that you do. And it's just a case of sitting down. You obviously already understand your avatar, who it is you're aiming at. So plan your content, make a plan of things that are happening throughout the year that are connected to your industry, and start tying into those kind of things. Tattooing eyebrows on or what have you for people who've gone through cancer treatment and their hair's not going to grow back, or alopecia, that kind of thing. Helping people understand what they can do to help certain afflictions, or if they've got psoriasis or eczema. There's so much value you could give in your industry if you're good at what you do, and I'm sure you are, Danielle. So start giving that value. There's so much, especially right now when people can't come to you and get treatment. Nobody can come to you and get their nails painted. Nobody can come to you for a massage. Nobody can come to you for electrolysis. So what can you do to help them in this moment of pain? Although it's not real pain, but the pain that they're feeling of, and I need to be looked after a little bit. I need a little bit of pampering. And to be honest, right now, I think we all probably need a little bit of pampering. So making that kind of content, I think, will stand you out from the rest a little bit. So get cracking. Put some value out there for your audience. Cool. Excellent. I think we're going to have a short one today, which is good because the sun's shining, and it'd be nice to go out and enjoy a little bit of that. So anyway, we'll talk until 25 minutes. If you've got any questions on whatever platform you're on, chuck them into the comments. I will do my best to check them out and read them, just seeing if there's anybody here on Instagram Live. There's not who's left a question. So yeah, feel free to leave any questions. While I've got you here, don't forget you can come and join my How to 9 Times Your Social Media group, which is available on Facebook. In that group, we post the shorter videos that I repurpose from this content, so you don't have to watch the full thing. If you've got a question that you've had asked, you don't have to try and find it. It will be there as an individual video, so you can go and find that video and consume that particular piece of content. Also, in that group, the very top link is my former #1 book, How to 9 Times Your Social Media, which will take you through the whole process I take all my clients through, from small businesses all the way through to corporate. What is it that you can do yourself for free to create from me again? If you say yes, you get my newsletter. If you say no, you never hear from me again, ever. You don't even have to watch another one of these live videos. You can just get my book for free and consume that, go off and make some content, and never hear from this dodgy northerner again. So that would be good, wouldn't it? I think that would probably benefit you definitely the most. Not me, but it would definitely benefit you not having to hear from me again. And that's pretty much it. I'm going to shoot off. I'm going to go. As always, if you have enjoyed this content, please do hit the subscribe button, whatever platform you're watching on. And make sure once it's live fully, hit the share button, get more people watching it, let more people see this content so that they can consume it. Maybe become a follower, and we get more and more questions then every single day. And who knows, these might start to get slightly longer broadcasts rather than like half an hour like they are at the moment. Just depend on how long nap time happens for. But yeah, we will see. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me today. As always, it does astound me that you come and join me most days and consume my content. So thank you very much for that. And until tomorrow, stay safe, stay healthy. And if you're in the UK, don't forget tonight, round of applause for all the key workers who are still out there helping us stay safe and stay fed as well, because obviously the ones who are working in the supermarkets are making sure that we actually get some food on our tables and that kind of thing. And as always, Max and I will be out there on the balcony applauding my wife because she's an NHS key worker. Anyway, right, I will see you